So we're here at the Tea Party in Houston that's protesting the tax slavery that we are all under as American citizens. And I'm here and there's one question that has to be asked about this entire movement, because walking through the crowd, talking to all of the people, it becomes very apparent that though there are many new followers to true conservatism, true limited government, the ideals that founded the country, what worries me is this truly appears to be an attempt, a PSYOP attempt to retake control of the liberty movement and to pull it back into the false left-right political structure. This is very evident from the fact that so many of the right-wing pundits, the right-wing neoconservatives that have destroyed conservatism's name in this country, that have fractured and destroyed the Republican Party, that tried to drive Ron Paul from the party, now are suddenly embracing Ron Paul, embracing the principles that he stands for and so many of us in the liberty movement stands for. So we have to ask ourselves the question, are these protests and are the movements and the organizations behind these protests simply a right equivalent of MoveOn.org? Are we simply dealing with a new system of control now that the left has become empowered, now that the Democrats are in office? Now will we begin to hear the right, which we are, saying all the things that we wanted to hear? Just like we listened to the left, and there were so many on the left that were anti-war and wanted to get us out of the war. But what did these organizations really accomplish? They accomplished getting a lot of Democrats elected. Now again, we find ourselves in the same type of situation where all of these right front groups tied to the establishment, tied to the mainstream media, tied to the very same political structure that's brought us to the point of destruction as a country, are now suddenly telling us everything that we want to hear. And that's what we have to ask ourselves. Are the American people going to be duped again? Are we going to allow ourselves to be duped again by a false political structure that does nothing but feed our energy back into it in a dialectic process that can only lead to slavery? That's the question, America. That's the question you have to ask yourself. This is why it is so important for the info warriors, for those of us that know what's going on, that know the real score, that know about the Bilderberg group, that know about the goal, for total world enslavement. That's why it's so important for us to get out into the streets, to engage as many of those that are aware of this system, to speak out about it, to talk about 9/11 truth, to talk about the Council on Foreign Relations, not allow ourselves to be fueled into a false left-right struggle, but to bring truth to the struggle, because in truth is victory, and that victory will be the restoration of our country and our world. The lovely chemtrails, the lovely dusting of the public, they've been going on all day, specifically concentrated over the areas where the people were going to gather to protest their tax slavery.